Welcome everyone to the Not Normal Investors channel. I'm Rob and I'm not normal. Thank goodness I'm not normal in today's bloody world. I consider it an absolute privilege. I do not follow the crowd because I recognize that it'll cost me my health and wealth. And this particular channel is designed to wake up as many people as possible into how they've been deceived in terms of their health and their wealth, in particular their wealth and money. And I'm here to try and explain it in the most simplistic way as possible. So, I have a couple of coins here, guys and girls. So, in my right hand, I have a 2018 50-cent coin, which we currently use as money nowadays. And I also have a 1966 50-cent coin, which obviously isn't used nowadays. Now, apart from the fact that the shapes differ, so the 50-cent coin from 1966 is circular, and the 2018 coin has 12 edges. Okay, 12 edges. Apart from that difference, the majority of the population would not be able to tell me any other differences between the two, and I'm here to tell you what the difference is. This 50-cent coin that we're using at the moment is worth only about 15 cents. Why is it only worth 15 cents? But it says 50 cents, but why is it only worth 15 cents? It's only worth 15 cents because this particular coin is made of crap metal. It's made of nickel and copper, worthless metals. This particular coin from 1966 is made of 80% silver, which is far rarer and has far more utility than the 2018 minted coin. So this 50-cent coin is probably worth about $25 to $30 now. And this particular 50-cent coin that we use nowadays, minted in 2018, is probably worth only about 18 cents, 15 cents, something like that. Now let me throw another spanner in the works. This is an Australian $100 note. This is the highest denomination note that we currently use in Australia, $100. Can anyone tell me how much this is worth? So we're led to believe it's worth $100, but it's not. The value in this $100 note is less than $1. Now let that sink in. It's less than $1. This note is made of plastic and ink, and that's it. That's all it is. We've been led to believe since we were born, since we went to school, we've been told that this has value, but it actually doesn't. Now, the reason I've explained that scenario to you is because I'm sick and tired. Nowadays, all I hear people saying is, oh, and don't get me wrong, it's very, very sad. I see everything's changing at the moment, but it's that people don't understand. People say, oh, Rob, house prices are going up. Or, Rob, my grocery bill has increased, or energy bills have increased, and all this sort of stuff. You need to flip your mind from that mentality, because that's not what has happened. So if we look at a house, for example, let's say as an example, this 50-cent coin is a house. Okay? Now, let's say, 10 years ago it was worth $350,000. Now let's say it's worth $1 million as an example. Now people say, oh, the house prices have gone up, and that's just what happens over time. The house has actually stayed the same. What's happened is this crap has lost its value. So it costs more of these. It takes more of these to buy the house, and people save this crap. We've been taught as kids to save this crap. Whereas what we should be saving is real money, things that have finite supply, things like gold, things like silver, things like property. Things that you can't just print out of thin air. Do you know how they make this stuff? They print it. A lot of it isn't even printed now. It's generated on a computer. Banks type digits into a computer, they press enter, and the money appears out of nowhere. So the basic principles of economics is a demand and supply. So there's infinite supply of this. So if there's infinite supply of this, there's not much demand. But there's finite supply of the house. I know this is a 50-cent coin, obviously. I'm just using it as a metaphor. There's finite supply of the house. So people need to realize that this is not going up in price. It's just costing more of this worthless stuff to buy this. So it scares me a little bit when people say they save money, because it's not financial advice. I save real money. So real money to me are things like gold, silver, tools, anything's finite supply, property, other sorts of assets. I just wanted to give you that quick rundown. I also wanted to just have a quick look at the gold price, because I like to see what's happening with gold and where it's going. So at the moment it's 51.47, so it's gone up quite a bit. That will continue to go up. Now remember, when I say that's going to continue to go up, the gold has stayed the same. It's still the same gold. I said, but what's happening is it's because there's more money in the system. It takes more money to buy gold. So gold is the asset. Money isn't the asset. Money is not the asset. Okay, silver's $51.27. I'm referring to obviously the Australian dollars here. So an important thing to realize, guys, with gold and silver is the historic ratios and what the ratio is at the moment. So gold and silver used to be used as money for thousands of years. Used to be used as money until we came into this system from 1971, where they took the dollar off the gold standard, where gold and silver weren't used as money, and it was just this worthless crap that they can print infinite supply of. So the ratio over those thousands of years was averaged around about indicatively 1 in 60. So which means 1 ounce of gold you could exchange for 60 ounces of silver. At the moment, it's 1 ounce of gold for 100 ounces of silver. Now, to me, that's screaming a silver buying opportunity, to me, because we have never seen that sort of ratio ever before, which again, to me, tells me that silver is dramatically undervalued. If you look at history, that's what it's screaming out to me. In terms of cryptocurrencies, guys, we've got Bitcoin at 135,000 AUD, so that's sitting pretty tight at the moment, and Ethereum at 2618. They're probably the two only cryptocurrencies I look at. I could be wrong. I consider cryptocurrency a bit of a little bit of a gamble. It's quite erratic. I know that the technology behind the particular coins is here to stay. I do know that, but the actual coins themselves, a lot of them in particular, will not be around. They will not be around forever. So I tread carefully with cryptocurrencies. Real estate, guys. So touch on real estate in particular in Melbourne. Noticing that there's a lot more demand coming online in the market. I think that's to do with the anticipation that interest rates are going to be reduced very soon, and substantial reductions have been spoken about and are now making its way into the mainstream media. They're using excuses like Trump tariffs, and look, to a certain extent that does have does impact on interest rates, but if you look at the fundamentals, the reason why they have to drop interest rates is because the governments and the corporations cannot service their debts. And look, neither can homeowners in a lot of instances. There's most people are struggling to service their mortgages. But the main reason, make no mistake, is the banks and the corporations can't service their debts. So those interest rates are going to come down, and when they come down, there's going to be a boom. Not financial advice. I'm not here to provide financial advice. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. I just say whatever's in my head. I'm just a random guy who, mind you, I know a little bit about how the system works and all that sort of stuff, and I have taken advantage of it and has served me well in the past. But having said that, though, nothing of what I say is financial advice. And when those interest rates come down, I do believe there's going to be a boom. After that boom, I'm a little bit worried about what's coming after that. I believe that there's going to be a massive increase in interest rates, and I believe that they're going to roll out a different type of currency, because the one that we have at the moment just isn't working. You can see everything's very erratic, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. Thank you everyone for listening to this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, I'm here to try and wake up the majority of the population, just so that they can have a better understanding, a clearer understanding of why they're struggling in the world, how they've been deceived, how they're struggling in terms of their finances, why they're struggling in terms of their health in a lot of instances, and that's basically what I'm aiming to do. That's my main objective. Please like and subscribe, and thank you very much for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. It's free